Chicken on the Tracks! A railway safety video about chickens on wait, didn't I just talk about this? Well, yes, but as it turns out, unknown to me at the time, when I was going over the original, New Jersey Transit remade Chicken on the Tracks in 2013. They decided to update it for modern audiences. And while you may think it's strange of me to go over a remake, especially if it's just a shot-for-shot remake, there are a few differences between this version and the original. Now, we are talking about two rail safety videos, so neither of them are cinematic masterpieces, worthy of over-analysis, but I'm gonna do that anyway, and tell you which one is the superior version. The truth is, both have their strengths and weaknesses, I feel, though I will say they both accomplish the goal of explaining to kids why you don't mess around on the railway tracks. But to begin with, as I said, this remake was released in 2013, and since it is updated for modern audiences, well, you remember how the original started out with that funky 1980s style synth music that was actually pretty catchy? Yeah, so this is what they went with for the 2013 version. Thanks, now I feel like I'm watching a corporate onboarding video. You couldn't have made it more generic sounding. Like, listen, at least the original had some personality. I understand they were probably just grabbing some stock music, whatever they could get. But I feel like even Zoomers would have been watching that and been like, ugh. Like, come on, give them something. They must have known this because the musical intro doesn't last nearly as long, and we jump straight into the quote-unquote action involving the kids. The acting in neither of the Chicken on the Track movies is very good, but I do think it's actually worse in the remake. They also switched up some of the personalities and ages of some of the kids. Though there is still a kid who's the bully, and his name is Jason in this. And he is, just insufferable.
So like the generous person I am, I'm here to shine a ray of light on your depressing, hopeless lives. I have this really cool place that I want to show you guys. Right this way, you guys are gonna love it.
Okay, so right off the bat, I just want to be clear about something. I don't condone violence against really anybody. You know, I feel like it should be avoided. I definitely don't condone violence against minors. But if someone showed up and, beat the tar out of Jason here, I wouldn't really be complaining because, my God, apparently the tone they decided to go for with the bully in this version is not just being a jerk. I mean, okay, he is a jerk, but he's also really obnoxiously smug about everything, and I can't stand him.
Yo, Jason, where you going? Shortcut, stupid. If you're not afraid of a few rocks.
I hate you so much. Just like in the original, the main character, who's named Evan in this, has a little brother who says, hey, guys, wow, maybe don't go towards the train tracks. You're not supposed to be there. It's trespassing. They again tell him to buzz off. Though instead of staring off into space like last time, this kid just kind of shrugs his shoulders and is like, okay, die, and leaves. And good for him. He's gonna go far.
Follow me.
Seriously, why does every single line of this kid's dialogue make me want to just throttle him?
Yo, Jason, check it out. Let's see if we can smash it.
I don't think kids talk like that. Do kids talk like that? Is that normal? I've never had a lot of friends in general. Definitely not growing up. The few people I ever hung out with never would have been like, yeah, let's smash it, guys. Yeah. Also, a key difference here is that, unlike before, where the main character did not partake in the rock throwing, this time Evan definitely does throw rocks along with everybody else. Once again, they do manage to smash a window, and hurt the engineer, whose name is Tom in this.
Just been stolen by vandals. The first road crossing west of Walnut Street Station. 3 boys and 1 girl. Better notify the Transit Police Department. Train 111 out.
That's right, Tom. You keep on trucking. Don't you let those dang kids interrupt your work. You just walk it off. In a similar manner to last time, the kids wind up getting in an argument because Jason is a jerk.
It's Isabel's rock. I saw it. Oh, what was that? Did I hear something? Oh, it's just little mouse Evan. I didn't see you throw the rock, Shorty. So what are you? A mouse or a chicken?
Lay off him, Jason. He's only telling the truth.
You're lying because she's your girlfriend. Evan's lying because he's trying to be a big man.
Okay, big deal. Smash the window. Why don't you give it a rest?
Look, I'll give it a rest once I find out what kind of animal we got with us. So what are you, Evan? A mouse, a chicken, or a man?
I'm no chicken, Jason.
I'm a mouse! What? You heard me? Squeak, squeak. And once again, the bully character and the main character wind up playing chicken on the tracks. They both jump out of the way, though Evan hurts himself, but the cops show up, so everyone just leaves him behind because they're awful. Evan is somewhat hurt and slowly walks home and bumps into a much nicer friend of his from school, who was just hanging out, playing a game on her phone. How do you do, fellow kids? But this is where the film diverges quite a bit from the original, because instead of taking him back to her house to call his mom, she decides to treat him to some ice cream to cheer him up, since even though he's not being entirely honest with her regarding what he was actually doing, she's still a good friend. But they wind up being seated at a park, and her dad confronts Evan. Though this is where I feel like the script is much more awkward and doesn't make much sense when compared to the original. Like, he just kind of walks up on this kid for no reason, whereas before, well, the kid was in his house, so of course he was going to ask a bit more questions. Here, Evan's just chilling, having ice cream, hanging out, and the cop's like, "What are you doing, son?" And Evan's like, "What?" Like, he's literally just vibing. I mean, maybe you could argue, oh, this boy's hanging out with his daughter, so maybe that makes sense. But they immediately get into what is effectively a lore dump when it comes to facts about the railway. And then Evan's friend, whose name is Alicia, by the way, decides to take him to see a layout. Not with the suggestion of her father. No, instead she takes him to, well, to be fair, an actual in-real-life model railroading club called New Jersey High Railers, which is a pretty cool plug. Like, that's pretty awesome. But also, this just kind of comes out of nowhere. She's like, "Hey, let's go down to New Jersey High Railers, see the layout." Even though before it was, well, they were at the house, and her dad had his own layout. But I think I know why they made this change. See, it's 2013, and people are a bit more careful about, their kids hanging out with strangers. In the original, he'd only just met the dad, who is a cop, yeah, but basically the cop's like, "Oh, hey, new kid, you want to see something cool in my basement?" And, like, nothing illicit happens, but I think I can see how perhaps when they remade the film, they were like, maybe we shouldn't be encouraging kids to just walk down into strangers' basements without really knowing who they are. Instead, they utilized an open for the public layout via the New Jersey High Railers, which is a pretty good substitute, though I think a way to improve this would be to include the cop in going there, only because, well, while they're at the layout, Alicia's dad decides to arrange for them to have a ride-along on New Jersey Transit, just like before, but it doesn't really make sense for him to do that because he doesn't know Evan very well. They only talked for like 2 minutes. Why all of a sudden would he be like, "Oh, this kid who I don't even know if he likes trains, I'm gonna take him on a train ride"? Like, I don't see how that makes any logical sense at all, personally, but whatever, maybe I'm thinking way too much about it. This all has to do with changes that were made, I think for a legitimate reason, but also I think it kind of makes it a bit clumsier from a narrative perspective. But then you might be saying, Darkness, are you really judging a rail safety video based on the narrative? Yes, I am! And you can't stop me!
Wow, what a place!
I know, right?
Hi, Alicia.
Oh, hi. This is the New Jersey High Railers, and Mr. Benjamin over here can operate all these trains. This is my friend Evan.
Hi, Evan. Would you like to see the trains run?
No! Oh. Wow. rude.
Wow, awesome!
Yeah, it is. You see those signals and gates? They let you know when the train's coming, so you better watch out.
Is that the way it works on the real tracks?
Exactly. You see, Evan, when the lights are flashing red and the gates are down, you just can't pass.
Because the train's coming?
No, because the chicken's coming. Yes, because the train's coming!
Now you got it. But not everybody obeys the warning devices.
What do you mean?
See, some people are idiots. Oh. Like complete and utter stooges. Oh. Like unbelievable morons. Okay, I got it, man.
Kids. You know, kids on the tracks.
Some kids just don't get it.
These dang kids don't know nothing about railroading. I don't know what can happen.
They think it's never going to happen to them. Trains can't stop quickly. Before you know it, a train can be upon you. It's deceiving.
Those trains. They're liars. Don't trust them!
We all need to stay off the tracks and obey all warning devices. Telling a family that they just lost a loved one on the tracks is serious business.
What? That sounds like a really easy conversation to have. What are you talking about?
How about a ride on a real train? Alicia's dad has it all arranged.
I'm psychically linked with him, by the way, and that's how I know that he's already done this, despite him not being here or actually speaking with me at all. Why didn't you tell them about the spaghetti? They need to know about the horrible spaghetti accident. It was everywhere. The sauce, the meatballs, the Italians. Tell them about the spaghetti! They wind up meeting up with Tom the engineer, of course having another awkward interaction because, you know, the whole rock throwing incident. Though in this case, I think it's way more awkward because Evan is one of the ones who threw the rocks, and he can't be sure that he's not responsible for the giant bandage on Tom's forehead.
The locomotive is located in the rear of the train, but Tom operates from the cab car, which is located in the front of the train.
Why don't I hear any noise?
This is an electric train. You see those wires? Those are catenary wires. They provide the power to operate the train. If this was a diesel train, we'd have to yell at the top of our lungs to hear each other.
What? How dare this man question the glorious sound of beautiful, perfect diesels? No one must ever hear any other sound on the railway lines. Only diesels. And certainly not those dang, dirty, steam engines.
What would happen if you touched one of those wires?
A few years ago, a man tried to hitch a ride on one of the trains. He climbed on top of one of the cars, but it was an electric train. And when the man stood up, he got too close to the wires. We heard something and stopped the train. We found him alongside the tracks, dead. Big chunks of his skin were blown right out of his body.
Oh, wow. And then, one time, we were traveling down the line and saw an adorable kitty cat. Oh, okay, we don't need to go. All that was left of that poor, innocent, sweet kitty was a patch of fur and a red stain on the rails. Okay, reminds me of my time spent in the Gulf. You ever see what a sandstorm can do to a man? Boy, no. Dead bodies don't rot in the deserts, not in the Gulf, boy. The sand just kinda strips away, peeling the flesh slowly from their bones. I saw a lot of things in the Gulf, boy. Don't ever forget what happened in the Gulf. I won't. Okay, I think we can stop now. No! I can't stop! Every time I close my eyes, I see the Gulf. The sand and the heat and the more sand the tank treads everywhere. The explosions, the burning crude, the screams and cries of the women and children. Interestingly, they don't show the kids up in the cab with the engineer. I think this is likely because I imagine New Jersey Transit probably doesn't even offer cab rides anymore for safety reasons. Instead, it's shot in what looks like a normal seating area. Probably still in the cab car, but not actually near where the engineer is operating the train at all.
Hey kids, remember, make sure to stay away from the rail bridges and out of the tunnels. There are no sidewalks, so you would be in big trouble if a train comes. There's no room left for anybody.
Okay, that is an addition to this version that I think is very, very good. I always encourage, at some point in these safety films, mentioning, hey, children, don't go across railway bridges or through railway tunnels, because you're gonna get mowed down. It really is one of the most dangerous things you could possibly do. So, yeah, don't do that. And as we near the end of the film, well, it pretty much goes exactly the same way as it did with Yankees fan. Jason the bully basically calls him a wimp, he gets mad that his girlfriend laughs, and he decides to forcefully grab her arm and drag her onto the track so they can play chicken together even though she clearly doesn't want to. It's a pretty horrible scene in general because, like, don't treat your significant other like this, like, at all. And definitely don't play chicken on the tracks. Once again, they do manage to dodge the train that Evan and everyone else is on, but also, once again, they jump onto the adjacent rail and get run over by another train. About the only other difference is that they decided not to have their unseen bodies hauled off in implied pieces, instead full-size body bags, which I guess was their attempt to cut down on the level of implied gore here, but also, you know, the original was actually a lot more realistic. If you're run over by a train, they're probably hauling you off in pieces. Like, that was a very real take on that, but at any rate, it's still pretty horrifying, and yeah, it still gets the point across. In terms of which version of Chicken on the Tracks I think is better, well, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think the original, despite both having poor acting, because I mean, these aren't professional actors, just a safety PSA. The original felt less stunted and way less awkward, but I do think the information in the remake is a bit better. They added more, and I'm sure many of you will argue that, yeah, not encouraging kids to go into strangers' basements, like in the original, might have been a good change. So, yeah, that's fair too. Either way, though, both end horribly, and stop playing on the tracks, you dang kids! Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fun farewell.